Hello everybody. Welcome. Actually, I've just got a couple of jobs, chores, pottery chores. Well, one of them's a chore. It's not one of my favourite jobs, but I thought that if I made a clip out of it, then you would give me some moral support. Anyway, now I've got a couple of things actually I want to do. It is true. It is just a routine job. I've just got to be putting some clay out over there, and then after I've done that, I'm going to light my bisq kiln over here. So we'll just talk about that as we go. As you can see here, I've got my plaster bats there, you see. So these are just some plaster bats. You've seen me making these, and I do have some video clips on it, on making them. So I've had some clay here, you see. Which, actually I need to take some of the water off of the top. It's got too much water, so I'm going to get a sponge. Oh, Sheena, what do you want? So I'm just mopping up this clay has been here for a while, and I soak it down when it's completely dry, and then I add a little vinegar to it, and this helps the clay break down and rot. So it'd probably be quite smelly. I'll tell you what, it's cold. Very cold. But it's a nice even consistency. Oh, it's cold. You see the colour is changing, becoming darker. God, it's like achy cold, you know. What I should have done is had this bucket in the house, and then had it overnight, and then brought it out to do this job. In fact, I did have it in the house, and then I was going to do it, and I brought it out here yesterday, and then I had to do something else, and so it got forgotten. And so it got all cold again. Yeah, I shall leave this here on the... You don't want to put it too thick, you know, you just want to have it about a couple of inches thick. And then later on, as it dries, you can peel it off and turn it upside down, you see. Okay. Just going to wash my hands, folks, okay? Well, I would like to wash my hands, but the water has frozen. So I wiped them off with a sponge, and now I'm just toweling them off on this towel best I can. Because the next job we're going to do is we're going to light up the bisq kiln over there. So let's move the camera around. Dee, dee, dee. Well, let me just show you the pack here. You can see this is just going to be a bisq firing. So the pots are stacked, and with a bisq, of course, you can put pots inside each other. The main consideration when packing a bisq is taking care with delicate forms that you don't break them or break the rims. So you have to take a bit of care with the stacking to take advantage of the kiln space and get as much as you can in, but not to compromise and jeopardize the just wondering if I can sneak another pot in there. Yep. Sneaked another fella in. It's a bit like a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle, getting all of the bits in, all the pots in. So we're good to go. Now down here, as you can see, I've got my weed burners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to light up the kiln. So I'll show you what I do. First thing I do when lighting up this kiln is I make sure that the taps here are off. Okay, they are off. The next thing I want to make sure is that the burners are correctly aligned in the burner ports. And let's just take the camera off the tripod here a sec. You want to make sure that your burner here, you've got a little bit of secondary air coming in here around the side. Okay? So the air that goes in here, we call that the primary air. And then this air that comes in here is what we call secondary air. Alright? So just put the camera back on its tripod. Let me just see if I can bring it around here. Okay, so having first made sure that the alignment of the burners is good and the secondary air is set good there on either side, and the taps are turned off, what I'm going to do is we're going to go outside and turn on the gas. Let's go and do that. So out here is one of these, I think it's 100-gallon. So we're going to open him up. Right, let's just have a look at the dial just to see what the dial is reading. Maybe I just need to change the focus here a second. Well, these tanks, they only fill them up to 80%, so it only reads 80. If it reads 80, it's full. Okay, because they leave an airspace. So I can have a look there and see, before I start the firing, what it's reading. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the tap here, this regulator tap, is completely closed. Alright, then I'm going to open the main stopcock here. Make sure he's open. And then what I do is this tap here, and this did confound me when I first put this on here, because you know, when it's fully unscrewed, it's off, and as you screw it in and down, you're turning it on more and more. So I just get to, you feel it as it's loose. Okay, as you can see, that is loose there. Just turn it until you can feel it biting on the thread. It just beginning to bite, which is about there. So then I just want to give it like a quarter turn, like that. Okay, let's go back inside to the burners. So what that's going to mean is that I've got gas coming in through here into the studio, goes through the T-piece, it splits, and it's coming now all the way up to here. Right, let's put this back on the tripod. Alright, so what I need to do now is light these individually in turn. Okay, so we've got gas up to the tap, but not beyond the tap. So now I'm going to open these. So I've lit the first one, and now I'm going to light the second one. So now it is important to start any kind of firing on a very low flame.